Alright, so I want to start off this video first by saying that I am really sick. Uh, um, I was going to record this video last night after the episode aired, but I felt like absolute trash yesterday. Um, in fact, when I was watching the episode live, I was like honestly halfway falling asleep, but not really. If only because it wasn't because the episode was boring, it was just because I was so tired. I just felt horrible. But I did rewatch the episode through Crunchyroll, and I'm here. I'm feeling much better today. It's a Sunday night, so I'm feeling much better today, and I'm ready to talk about episode 77. So, episode 77 of Dragon Ball Super is the first episode of the brand new Universal Survival arc that has basically, it starts off with the two Zenos are playing like a game with each other, but the game is that they're literally flicking planets, and and they're being destroyed. So their game is that they're literally just destroying planets with their fingers. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't think any character, be it DC or Marvel, can compare to Zeno. I think this is pretty intense what they're able to do. But anyway, so Goku is driving a new truck that Bulma lent him. And basically these guys come over and they're like, oh, hey, my truck broke down. Can you help, me fix it or whatever? And Goku's like, yeah, sure. And then when Goku's back is turned, they pull out a gun and they're like, okay, give us your new Capsule Corp truck. This thing is worth millions. It'll sell really well on the market. And Goku's like, no, Bulma just gave me this. I'm not going to let you take it. And they're like, hand over the keys. And he's like, no. And then he does a pretty badass after image. And then he ended up popping behind them and beating them all up. He does a Raditz, if y'all remember from the first episode of Dragon Ball Z, or not the first one. Actually, yeah, it was the first episode of Dragon Ball Z, when the farmer fires the shotgun, and Raditz catches it and then flings it back. That's literally what Goku does in this episode. But after he does that and flings it back and hits the guy in the head, he turns around thinking it's all over. And here's one of the scenes that everyone is talking about. Goku turns around thinking it's all over. He lets his guard down, but then the robber turns around and fires his gun, and Goku gets a scuff. He was literally hurt by that bullet. Now, I was originally upset about this as well, but what Dragon Ball Super has really been trying to push, and this is something that, if you really think about it, it's always been present in all of Dragon Ball, but we're only really starting to notice it now, because they're actually starting to explain it. But if you actually take this thing that they're explaining to you and look back at Dragon Ball, you could find numerous cases in which this actually does happen. It's when, Goku's biggest flaw as a fighter is that he can let his guard down sometimes, and when he lets his guard down, he's super vulnerable. It's how he was able to be harmed and be shot through in the Resurrection F arc by Sorbet's normal rifle beam. It's happened throughout Dragon Ball, because even in the beginning of Dragon Ball, when Goku was shot by Bulma, the bullet hurt. It's all about ki control, because when you are on guard, how ki works in Dragon Ball is they basically create a thinner outline that's like a ki shield on their body, basically. And of course, that's not their entire durability. If Goku's just regularly on guard, he will obviously not take hits as hard, but they do create a thin layer of like a ki shield, basically, that's around their body. That's how they're able to take these blows and these beams and these punches that would normally crack a planet, and it's not doing anything to them. But this is a scene that everyone's been talking about, and everyone's saying, "Oh, Goku's so weak now. Like, look at this." And it's like, no, he was just put off guard. Look at the end of this episode. The end of this episode has Beerus literally punching Goku in the gut because Goku went off to Zeno's place when he told him not to. A punch from Beerus is worth not you could literally take a bullet and multiply it by whatever number you wanted to think of, and that punch from Beerus probably hurt way more than that. Okay, so Goku just let his guard down, and when Goku lets his guard down, these things can hurt him. It's nothing huge, you know. That doesn't mean Goku's weak as hell or anything. It just means that Goku needs to not let his guard down. Anyway, so yeah, Goku ends up beating these thugs, and Goku's like, man, I really want to go training. I should go train with Krillin. Krillin's busy because Krillin's doing a police thing again, and so Goku decides to call up Whis and Beerus and wants to go train with them. Whis is like, yeah, sure, you can come, but you gotta bring me a treat. What do you want to bring for me this time? Goku, says some, I think it's called daifuki or something like that, some Japanese sweet, I think. Anyways, he goes out and he gets it. And he actually meets up with Bulma, and he tries to get Vegeta to come with him to go train. But Bulma's actually pregnant with Bra, finally. Other people are having problems with this too, because for some reason, people think that Bra is older than Pan. Guys, this was never stated anywhere. Just because in GT, Bra looked like she dressed older and she acted older, that doesn't mean that she's older. That just means that she's more mature. And I think she was taller too, but that doesn't make her older. In fact, if anything, this makes sense because Trunks on the Brief family is older than Goten, so it makes sense if both of their other children is vice versa. It makes sense if Pan on the Sun family was older than Bra on the Briefs family. That way it counters out. Anyway, so Goku wants Vegeta to go train with him, and Vegeta's like, no, if I went to go train with you, Bulma would never forgive me. And Goku says, oh, well, I was dead when Goten was born, and Chi-Chi's fine with me. Everyone is also taking this line completely out of proportion by saying, oh, Goku's such a dick, oh, Goku's such a horrible father. I've talked about this so many times. It was a joke. It was just Goku being stupid. Goku's not a horrible father. Going on. So Goku ends up going to go meet up with Beerus and Whis, and he's doing some pretty intense training. He actually ends up going Super Saiyan, just regular Super Saiyan, not Super Saiyan Blue. But then he ends up talking to Beerus and Whis afterwards, and he is reminded of the 12 Universe tournament that Zeno was talking about. And apparently Zeno forgot about it. So Goku was going to go and talk to Zeno and remind him about it. Well, Beerus actually threatens Goku with his life, threatening to Hakai, the same move that he used on Zamasu, to immediately wipe him out. And Goku's like, okay, fine, you got me, I won't go. And he pretends to throw it up in the air, throw the button up in the air. And Beerus looks up, and Goku's like, haha, gotcha. And he had it in his hand the whole time, and he pushes the button. And Beerus is all freaking out. And Goku ends up going to Zeno's palace, and he ends up reminding both the Zenos about the tournament. And from what I've read from a lot of Herms' tweets, one of the Zenos has seen how Universe 7 is able to fight, but not the other one. So what's going to happen is before they start the tournament, one of the Zenos wants to see a preliminary match, wants to see Universe 7 fight another universe. I'm guessing Universe 9, because that's who they were talking about in the preview. Wants to see them fight other people just to see how strong they are, just to get a grasp of their power. But Zeno agrees to host the tournament, and Goku ends up going back, and this is where Beerus punches him in the gut and is like, you bastard, how could you have done this when I told you specifically not to? And Yeah, basically, they're all gearing up for the tournament now. That's basically how the episode ends. And next week, next week the tournament is starting. Because we're seeing all of the gods of destruction come down. I can assume that's for the end, because if we're having a preliminary match, I assume that would not be for the tournament. It would be for before the tournament. So I would assume we're getting the preliminary match in the first half of the episode, and then the second half of the episode we're setting up for the tournament, and this tournament is going to end up starting by the end of next week's episode. That's my guess. We do now know that the masked man, or not really the masked man, but the guy in the hood is the guy from the opening intro, the white-faced, black eye, red costume guy from the intro that Goku's fighting the entire time. We know this because in the 30-second trailer preview we got for the tournament arc, we see the white gloves, we see, this muscular physique, and we see the bottom of his jaw, that white face. But then in the next episode preview for next week, they made the cloak much bigger, so it's much harder to see who it is. And you can't really see any part of his body. So I think that they realized that they made a mistake and made it too easy to find out who that was. But I think now we know for sure that that is the character. So this guy is definitely on the Clown God of Destruction's team, which is really interesting. He's definitely going to be probably the big main bad, like the hit of this arc. Maybe even more so, but I don't know. We'll see. This guy definitely looks interesting, so... so comment down below what you guys thought of episode 77. Are you guys excited for the new arc? I most definitely am. I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.